Well, hello, my beautiful people. Today is our second episode here in my new podcast. I am not in my office because my aunt is here, and the way I have my room, my office is it's complicated. Um, but I'm blessed. I am truly blessed. My book is out, and I am doing good. Being the conference, um, doing my conferences, and being the public speaker that I know I am and just sharing my message of love, hope, and acceptance. And it's funny because right now I just got a text message from a lady. I guess my mom bought some stuff from her, and anyways, I'm not gonna go into detail, but it's her words were kind of rough, and I get it. Um, I've had a lot of patience with my mom too. You know, I love my mom. Don't get me wrong. I really do love her. She's everything to me. But one thing I don't like about my mom and my family and the world in general, not the world, but like people, is like they make me feel so invisible sometimes. Um, like for example, every time my mom and I are having a conversation, and my nurse is right there, and she has to involve my nurse into the conversation somewhere somehow. I'm like, it's a conversation between me and my mom. I wish just one day, like, she would not have to like get them involved in the conversation. But anyways, that only makes me practice patience even more. Um, and I'm all about spreading love, and being grateful for everything that you have and for everything that you don't have. I am where I'm supposed to be. I know that for sure. And I know life is a process. Everyone has their own process. And lately, I've been feeling fearful. I don't know why. Probably because everything that's going on around the world. But I know that I'm truly blessed. And I want to keep on going with what I'm doing because I believe in myself. I truly believe in myself more than ever. And I love myself and I accept myself. And I am putting myself first for the first time. I know I've been saying that, or maybe but I mean it now. We are with ourselves all day, and that is the number one relationship that we have to work on. The relationship with ourselves, not with our parents, not with our kids, not with aunts, uncles, grandparents. I'm just going off from what I have to say in my heart. I need to prepare better for this podcast, especially because I have a lot to say to the world. And I know a lot of people would benefit from what I have to say. We all benefit from each other. And that's the thing about vulnerability. Life is about being vulnerable. And I am very, very, very vulnerable in my book. Um, and it's something that I thought that I would never do, write a book. Um, and even though I had a writer's block, I enjoyed the process. It's it was really transforming. It transformed my life. But I know I am meant to do more. I want a movement of love, and I know I'm on my way. And I'm tired of feeling lonely, but I know I'm not lonely because I have myself. I have a lot of love to give, and my mom has given me that love for so many years, and I can't be mad at her. She's getting older, and it's all about acceptance, about accepting how people change. I have a nurse that I had to say goodbye to because his attitude was getting out of control. I truly appreciate him, and he was like a dad to me. I admired him, and I admired the way he had um, the dynamic with his family. I wish I had a family, but unfortunately, we don't always get what we want in life. But we have to learn to be grateful for what we do have, and I'm truly grateful and blessed for everything that I've been through, for everything that I have. It's a matter of seeing things in a different angle, in a different way, and not victimizing yourself. Because when you live in a victim state, things get nasty. You get angry, you let frustration ruin your life. Trust me, it's been a hard process because it's easier said than done, but we have to try, my beautiful people. Try every single day to be better, to spread love. You know, like I said, it's not easy, but I know it's possible if you really want something better for yourself. If you want to find your purpose, and for me, my finding my purpose, it was hard. It took 5 years, and I know I'm not perfect. No one is, but we have a lot to offer to this world because we're in this world for a reason. And I know I'm here for a reason. I was in coma for 3 months and a half, and the doctors told my mom, Mrs. Medina, if your son wakes up, he's never ever gonna say mom again. He's never gonna speak again. If he wakes up, he's gonna wake up in a vegetative state. And my mom from day one declared it. She's like, no, you are doctors and you don't have the last say. So when you truly believe in something and truly want it, you go for it. Because my motto is, and I'm pretty sure many of you have heard it, is that the only limits there are the ones that you create for yourself. And I want to keep on going with this podcast because accountability, consistency, that's the thing. We have to be consistent with what we're saying, with what we're doing, and that's the only way we grow as well. When we keep at it and keep our word. Words matter a lot. From what we say we're gonna do to making things happen. I'm working on that, and I know sometimes I don't keep my word, but that's gonna change from now on because I know I am meant to do a lot of great stuff in this world, and the sky's the limits. I'm like I said, I know I'm right where I'm supposed to be, and I got a lot more in store. But for now, I just feel like I need to enjoy my my goals, enjoy the momentum that I'm on, and not be too hard on myself because sometimes I feel like I need to do a lot and I overwhelm myself. So I'm taking it slow, and enjoying the process and making sure that everything I say and do comes from a place of love because that's me. That's who I am and I'm not gonna change. It only makes it worse when we let others get the best of us and when they poke when they poke something in us and try to make us mad, that's when we give that other person the power. That's when we give that other person control over us. Because, yes, they might do something that makes us mad, but if we learn to breathe, if we learn to not let it get to us, they're going through their own process too. So, they say it takes two to tango. Yeah, it takes two people to fight. It takes two people to have a disagreement. And even though sometimes I feel like I miss out on life a lot, that's my own process. That is what I have to go through in this world, in this life. And it's been hard to accept that. It's been really hard to accept that. Like right now, I wish I could have a nicer setup or, but I've been wanting to work with people. I've been wanting to be more professional, but I do what I can. I can't be more hard on myself. It's having to depend on people literally 24/7. Yeah, that's not easy. Losing, and let me rephrase that because I have always said that I don't have independence. But something I've learned to look at a different angle is that I do have my independence. I have my voice. I have the vibration of my soul. That is the vibration of my soul. And I know that I am free. I'm completely free because I could say what I want. Even though it's a little overwhelming at times, especially recently because I have two new nurses. Well, not new because they've been with me for a while, but they literally don't do one thing if I don't tell them what to do. As far as eating, as far as my routine, I take that back. They kind of know my routine, but like there's some things that I don't know. But using my voice and telling people what to do all the time, it gets a little overwhelming. Plus, it makes me feel kind of bossy sometimes. And again, something that I learned to look at differently is that I am the boss of my own life. We are all our own bosses of our own lives. And for me, consent, respect, love, those are all my core values that I am not going to let others, what's the word? I'm not going to let others like debate them, or I'm not going to let others, yeah, those are just my core values. And I'm gonna stick to them because that's what I truly believe in. That's who I am. And I know I represent love, and I say that with the most humble heart. I know I'm here to change the world because we all could change the world if we just decide to. If we decide to make life better. It's all a decision. From the moment we wake up, it's all just a decision, my beautiful people. Um, but yeah, I'm just so happy and blessed to be alive, to be breathing, and to be sharing my message. And I'm I can't wait for more. So I'm gonna leave it at that for today. Um, it's this thing's being better, just knowing that I'm capable of doing things and capable of being vulnerable. That's all it takes. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's podcast. I really hope next month I have a guest. I'm still getting situated with having a podcast. It's a dream come true. So don't forget to be yourself, to love yourself, and that the only limits there are the ones that you create for yourself. And I'll be catching you on the next one. All right, my beautiful people, enjoy and let's keep on spreading that love. Till next time, Diego signing out.